Week 6 is underway, so you know it's a great time to talk fantasy football.
Yep, definitely. For fantasy's sake, episode 5 starts now. There were not that many trades this week.
Not really.
Compared to, the rest of the year. There was only 4, so we're going to be able to go through all of them. A couple of exciting ones, though. Starting off with a trade between me and Alex. Alex sends Brandon Cooks and a 13th round pick to me for Zach Moss, Rashad Bateman, and a round 11. It's just honestly one of those small trades you kind of look for. He's a solid bench piece for me. Good plug and play for bye weeks, and Alex gets Zach Moss, who's an up-and-coming running back.
Oh, yeah.
And a pick upgrade. And actually, speaking of Zach Moss, seems like that was part of a bigger deal for you.
Zach Moss is getting moved, as well as Amon-Ra St. Brown getting moved to my team in exchange for Damian Harris, who's kind of been playing not as well and dealing with some injuries.
Disappointing, yeah.
As well as AJ Green, who was putting up 10 points in 3 weeks straight and then had 1 or 2 down outings, so I sent him. And I got some quality pieces.
Yeah, solid. And then another trade with Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, he was
staying busy this week.
Yeah, he was staying busy this week.
Definitely.
3 of the 4 trades this week have to do with him. He sends away Ezekiel Elliott and an Antonio Brown.
Wow, AB.
To Miller.
On the move.
Oh, yeah. Power. I mean, call God, He had 19 points this week, though. This is before the deal, so don't blame him for that. DK and Clyde Edwards-Helaire in return. Zeke and AB are gone.
Wow.
Decent trade. He gets 2 star players. Edwards-Helaire is a plug-in, and exactly when he's healthy. So
the low end are running back too.
And
doesn't get that many touches.
DK when Russ is healthy is definitely one of those wide receiver ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
AB's good, but I think it's a decent trade. And then finally, you just did one.
Right before we started recording, I made a trade with Sean, trading away running back
Big one.
Darrell Henderson, Kadarius Toney, up-and-coming player, and Devin Singletary for another AB,
a JB,
AJ Brown, Khalil Herbert, and Cordell Patterson.
Yeah, I mean, he's been going off. It's his bye week this week.
Really good.
So that's why Herbert was involved.
Yeah, I needed a running back, and I needed to get rid of Singletary because I just traded for Moss. So it overall works out for both of us.
Yeah, this was a great deal, honestly. Yeah. And here are the close games for last week. A lot of close games. 3.
I know.
3 of them. And
heartbreaker for me, but it's okay.
I mean, Baltimore defense.
Defense
just couldn't muster enough.
I know.
And
so frustrating.
Yeah, and then the biggest blowout of the week right here.
Really big margin of this week.
Here's
71
the thing. 71 points. Wow. If you think about it, that was first place versus last place. Sean versus Mason.
Oh yeah.
And if that is how big of a point differential it's going to be between first and last, then we are a very we're a top heavy league, I guess. Yeah. That is a 71 point defeat.
Mm-hmm. That is crazy.
That's nuts.
I know. And moving into our attaboys for this week, mine is going to Mike Williams, again solidifying himself as a top-tier fantasy wide receiver.
Top 10 in the league.
Putting up 33.5. His best performance of the season, 8 catches for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
fantastic.
And both of those touchdowns were 30-plus yards?
Yeah, they were really good.
They were nukes.
Outing.
Yeah. And my attaboy.
Who is it?
AB.
Ooh, okay.
There you go.
AB.
7 receptions, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that's not including Thursday night where he put up 19 points.
Yeah.
7 receptions, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns for week 5.
Unbelievable.
Now that is an attaboy. That's 21.4 points. No. 21.4. No, it's actually, correction, 27.4.
Wow.
That's a performance.
That's crazy.
If you're in half PPR like we are, that's 27.4. Regular PPR, it's even better.
Even
It's like
more.
31 or
Yeah.
something. I mean, I don't know. But
Crazy.
those are our attaboys.
Yep. And for our standings and power rankings this week, right here. Now moving forward into to start or to bench. Who do you have for this week?
Well, I feel like this is an obvious pick with Nick Chubb being out this week with a calf injury. Kareem Hunt, he already has an enormous amount of carries,
Yeah.
and he gets targets in the backfield, and now he's going to be the main guy.
Yeah.
And he's
definitely
playing
a good
Arizona.
start.
You know, their run defense is not amazing. Their defense is great, but I think he's going to be a weapon to use for Baker, especially a guy who doesn't seem to make a lot of the deep passes, although he has a good
Yeah.
arm. So Kareem Hunt is going to be my first start. And then I'm going to take Laviska Shenault in London against
London.
Miami. Yep.
All right. I like
Xavier
that.
Howard is out.
Yeah.
So they just have Byron Jones, and he'll probably have to take on a bunch of people. I mean, Marvin Jones is there.
Yeah.
Their
know.
secondary, other than Byron Jones, I can't really recall big name players. So,
true.
Xavier Howard's out. Laviska Shenault, he's been getting targets, so he's in for my
I like
start.
that.
What about your guys?
For me to start, I want to go with any of the Colts running backs versus Houston. Colts running backs, I mean, obviously, Jonathan Taylor is going to get the start
Oh yeah,
in most leagues, but Naheem Hines, backup
He's
number
gonna get
2 guy,
targets,
he's
yeah.
going to get a lot of targets. And that Houston defense against running backs, they give up a ton of points, so I think that's a really good start for this week. Another start, Dawson Knox has 5 touchdowns on the season so
he's
far.
on a tear.
And playing Tennessee defense, which is struggling really bad this season.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a really nice game.
The only bright spot in Tennessee's defense right now is Kevin Byard. He's actually
Yeah.
the first ranked safety in Pro Football Focus
Yeah,
as
that's
of now.
crazy.
But other than that, nobody. A bunch
Yeah,
of nobodies.
That's it.
But yeah, so now I'm gonna go with my sits, and this one's gonna be a surprising one since he just recently had a huge game. Marquise Brown versus the Chargers. Now
Really?
before you get the torches and pitchforks, Chargers defense is fast. Derwin
They're
James is
really
healthy.
good. They're playing phenomenal
They can
football.
play amazing defense. And Marquise Brown might have a little bit of competition. Mark Andrews is great. Lamar might need to use his legs some more with the pass rush
Yeah.
coming in. And Rashad Bateman is healthy, although he might not get as many targets. I just think it might be a deal of
Just with the defense
how it goes
winning.
around. Yeah, and I'm not sure if Marquise Brown's going to be able to get open that much.
Yeah.
I just feel like the defense is good. So
No, I
my
get
next one is not really that surprising of a pick because he's been struggling as of recent. TJ Hawkinson versus
Yeah.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati's defense has been surprisingly good this year.
Yeah, they're really good.
So simple as that. He's been struggling, and I think his struggles will continue against Cincinnati defense.
Yeah,
and,
just having
uh,
a down year for Hawk.
I mean,
kinda
yeah, after his
surprised.
first few weeks, now it's like
yeah,
kind
he
of.
started the first 2 weeks with over
Yeah.
20 points in each, and then he's been just downhill. It
Yeah,
hasn't
I
looked
mean,
really great.
he was supposed to be the main target for Jared Goff, but now
Yeah.
he's finding other players like someone we're going to talk about in the waiver wire pickups. So yeah, what's your who's your sits?
My sits for this week, I'm gonna go with Tyler Boyd, who's had a really good season so far. But with T. Higgins coming back from injury, his target slowly went down last week, as you saw. I mean, he put up 4 points. So T. Higgins is back and another great option for Joe Burrow. So Tyler Boyd is gonna get the sit from me. Next, I'm gonna go with Tannehill against the Buffalo defense. Tannehill, again, not having a fantastic season.
Yeah, down year.
And Buffalo defense is on fire right now. So Tannehill is going to get the sit for me.
Yeah, plus Derrick Henry. I
Yeah.
mean,
Derrick Henry is
they might
on
not. They
another
might
level.
not. Yeah, they might not need Tannehill to throw
Yeah.
the ball that much.
I know.
So yeah, now we're gonna go over some waiver wire pickups for this
Yeah.
week. You can start off with your guy that you've been chatting up
new
so
guy,
much.
I've been talking about him all week. I know he was the only bright spot in this
A tough,
week's loss.
tough loss.
A lot of losses in this Giants game, but besides that,
Your entire
Kadarius
offense.
Toney, yeah, the only bright spot in that game. Kadarius Toney put up, I think, over 25 points.
Record-breaking yards
Yeah.
too.
189 yards receiving and 7 yards rushing. Just definitely someone to monitor for this week. He's my number one guy for my waiver wires for this week. He's on my team right now, so it just looked fantastic. Definitely go out and get him. And another target is Amon-Ra St. Brown, putting up 10 points in the last 2 weeks each. Just looks really solid, and
Yeah.
Jared Goff said that he wants to get him more involved as the season goes on. I know Tyrell Williams is coming back from injury, but Amon St. Brown just looks really solid.
He's quick. He's a young rookie.
He looks really good.
And he plays really well. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Tim Patrick for this week.
I like
He
that.
always has a tendency to go off at
Yeah.
some random point, so he may not be the most dependable. But at the same time, it's really only the Cortland Sutton show at this point. KJ Hamler, I think, is gone with the torn ACL.
I believe.
I believe. And Jerry Judy's still gonna be out a couple more weeks, so why not go
Yeah.
for Tim Patrick?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a pretty fair pickup. I mean, he's available in a lot of leagues,
Oh,
so you
yeah,
might as
without a
well.
doubt.
And now a big player, just recently coming off the IR. Not really a big player because he's a rookie,
Yeah,
but
a
Rashad
lot of
Bateman.
potential.
Rashad Bateman has a ton of potential. The Ravens drafted him
Mm-hmm.
in the first round, I believe, if not early second. They just look like they have
High upside.
they have a guy. So
There's no clear number one in that offense. So if Bateman comes in early and succeeds, he could definitely be that number one guy down the stretch towards the end of the season, towards fantasy playoffs. He could be someone you can really depend on.
yeah, I mean, they have Marquise Brown for the speed, and Bateman would be for the possession. I feel like
Yeah.
it'd just be a really good way to gel those two together, and
Oh,
Bateman
yeah.
could be the next
I like
guy,
that.
and hopefully the guy for the Ravens. So I would pick him up just so you don't miss out. You know, if you need a receiver desperately, well, we've given you 4 actually.
Yeah, I
We
know.
got all 4. So
All receivers this
there you
week.
go.
Definitely all good options for this week. Tony putting up great points. St. Brown putting up 2 consistent games. Tim Patrick putting up a consistent game each week.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's not on your roster or not on a roster. You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
And Bateman coming off IR just has a ton of potential.
Solid
So-
bench pieces that you might
Yeah.
plug and play.
I know. On your
later
bye weeks.
on your bye weeks. Later down the season, they might be
knows?
doing much better than what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
So I would just pick them up just to be safe. So yeah, that just about wraps up our episode. Thank you so much for watching.
Don't forget to follow the Twitter League of Beasts and our Twitter WCT 2021, and we will see you guys next week.
Yep. Make sure to like and subscribe. And in the description below, we're going to be having our link tree linked, so you'll be able to have access to everything that we just talked
Everything we
about. If if you don't feel like looking for it, link tree down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow the Twitter, all that.
Follow TikTok.
Have a day, and come on with the W. All right, take care, everyone.
Peace.